I am paying a big price for joining Obi to rescue Nigeria. Datti Baba Ahmed. Wow. So Yusuf Datti Baba Ahmed has said this while on Channels TV or so for an interview with Peter Obi to answer a lot of questions around their manifestos. Okay, Labour Party manifestos for Nigeria. All right, and this is coming at the heels of insult that the family of the Datti Ahmed have received from both PDP and APC candidates and representatives for joining Peter Obi and Labour Party, especially FFK. FFK, Femi Fani-Kayode, has greatly insulted the family of Datti Baba Ahmed, a lot of insult, and saying that he came from Mauritania, his family came from Mauritania, and he's going to go back to Mauritania, and a lot of insult, which actually should not be. And it's quite unfortunate that after signing the peace accord agreement, all right, with the peace committee, National Peace Committee of Nigeria, people in APC are still coming out to insult people, especially versus KEYAMO and FFK. And the government of the day is not doing anything about it. The security agencies, the INEC, nobody is doing about it. The National Peace Committee that is led by the former head of state, Abdulsalami Abubakar, is still not doing anything about it. Now they have insulted this man's family to his own generation, and the government is not seeing that as hate speech. That is hypocrisy at the highest level. All right? And this man now, the vice presidential candidate of the Labour Party to Peter Obi, is saying that he is paying a very big price in joining Peter Obi to rescue Nigeria. And I hope this price will come out with big profit if Nigerians will be reasonable enough to vote the right people to move Nigeria forward. All right? So this man wept on the TV, on the live TV, because of the amount of insult he has received, which he never intended receiving. But then he did that because of the love for Nigeria. For the vice presidential candidate of the Labour Party, Dr. Yusuf Datti Baba Ahmed, there is a price to pay for the love of fatherland, as emotions took over him at a point on Sunday while reminiscing on the insults being poured out on his family by political opponents, one of which dubbed him a Mauritanian, saying never had this happen until he teamed up with Labour Party presidential candidate of Peter Obi on the mission to save Nigeria from the collapse. So intense was the emotion that the former senator, who appeared with his principal on Channels TV, where they took their turns to answer questions on their manifestos, policies, and programs lined up for Nigerians should they win this year's presidential election, that he had to excuse himself to regain composure after coming down with tears. According to reports by Huawei News, the educationist and entrepreneur who represented Kaduna North at the Senate used the occasion of the town hall program to respond for the first time on the bashing he had received, the latest by former Minister of Aviation Femi Fani-Kayode, saying me and my family have been paying a huge price for my attempt to rescue Nigeria. They sent all sorts of people after me. But the thing that I was able to sort, all right, with the presidential and vice presidential candidate, I ended up suffering a much lesser level. 35 years ago, at least our dad of blessed memory passed away. No one ever insulted him until I joined the elections for presidency. This is not fair. It doesn't happen to anyone in the world. And that is the truth. You don't insult people's parents or their families. It is a huge price for anyone to pay, Baba Ahmed said, evidently fighting back tears before momentarily excusing himself to step out of the hall, presumably to regain his composure. Writing a widely circulated peace article titled A Love Letter to Datti Ahmed on December 2022, Fani-Kayode, director of New Media All Progressive Congress Presidential Candidate Council, Campaign Council, APC-PCC, had descended on the senator. Part of the article read, "For the record, let me put it to you that each of the women you accused me of having children with were all my wives, and even though I may have had differences with one of them in the recent past, thankfully such differences have long been settled, and I am proud of each and every one of them. I am also proud of my 9 beautiful children who you have insisted on bringing into the political fray and insulted my mentioning, all right, including the young ones. I can expect such despicable and low down practices and tactics from ill-born, all right, gutter snipes and trolls on social media, but I never expected such from you. Now, if my good friend and brother, the late Waziri Muhammad, who I knew to be very close to your older brother, uh, Muftau, and your family generally, saw that you were doing and heard, all right, saw what you were doing and heard what you were saying today about other people's wives and children, all in the name of politics, he would surely have been ashamed of your new law. Needless to say, each of my children have had the best, very best of education at the best foreign universities like their father and forefathers before them, unlike you and yours. And they didn't just go there for their master's degree like most of you did, all right? They went there for their first, second degrees and also went to the best foreign and Nigerian private schools before university, just as their younger siblings are doing today. You see, unlike you, regardless of what I do or say, I have a good heritage and a great legacy. And as each day passes, it gets stronger and stronger, regardless of your insults. Unlike you, I do not need to build a second-rate university or run for public office to be a household name. All right? And it is my name they will call FFK. They call FFK a Saduki and not just my father. Can you imagine? So this is what FFK is writing. The reason why he had to, insult Datti Baba Ahmed. But insult on Peter Obi and Labour Party was huge. And whatever Datti Baba Ahmed must have said was a response to initial insult that came from FFK and the entire APC to Labour Party. All right. Tinubu has insulted Peter Obi more than enough. All right, the entire APC have insulted Labour Party more than enough, and it's actually not expected of them, and they're still doing it. And the National Peace Committee, led by Salami Abubakar, is still not doing anything about it. This is terrible. So while fielding questions on the Channels TV in a town hall meeting setting with Peter Obi to answer questions around their manifestos for the Nigerians, actually broke down into tears for receiving all of this insult from FFK and from other political opponents because he decided to run for vice president of the Labour Party. Well, he saw it as a price he's paying for his fatherland, and probably not more than that. I'm sure he's still determined to continue. He's not going to drop off. But this, I know that for Datti Baba Ahmed to break down in this manner, it means that he's a complete gentleman, a complete man who does not want any form of aggression, who does not want any form of stress, who does not want any form of insult to himself and to his family. All right. I'm sure he's not aggressive and probably will never be aggressive. So even if probably he's of a Fulani descendant, he must be somebody with different character and different training and will not do what the Fulanis probably are doing. Okay. But if he chooses to be wild, it means that he's with Fanika Ode's and APC behavior, it means that he will see Nigeria as a wild environment and that deserves nothing but aggression and violence. But I hope he will not take that route, because people that are emotional like this can also be very dangerous if they go angry, if they go aggressive. Okay, so but the FFK actually need to tame his tongue. FFK and entire APC actually need to be very, very careful with the way they're dealing with the political opponent. They insult Atiku, they insult Peter Obi, they insult everybody, they insult Labour Party, they insult PDP, and it's just becoming very unbearable. If we are to rank them by their level of aggression, APC is most aggressive party in Nigeria today, followed by PDP. Right? And that is actually very, very terrible, unprecedented, and unacceptable. Unacceptable, especially after signing a peace accord with Nigerians. It's quite unfortunate. Okay. So just got one comment here. Somebody said, go and rescue Mauritania. Our grandparents are there in abject poverty. How can you say, is he really from Mauritania? He's not from Mauritania. How did FFK know that Datti Baba Ahmed is from Mauritania? Can he prove it? If they sue him to court, will he provide a record to show? All right? Our people are already following this kind of statement, unfounded statements. Quite unfortunate. So this is the emotional state of Baba Ahmed responding to insult that have been given to his family just because he's running as a vice presidential candidate of Labour Party. Thank you for listening, and let's have your comment.